All right, next running back on the list is Will Shipley here out of Clemson here. Shipley this past season here. Where's my stats at? Shipley, there he is. 167 carries, 827 yards, 5 touchdowns, 31 receptions for 244 yards, and 2 more touchdowns. He did miss some time, and he did get injured at the end of the season. Oh, there we go. Lloyd is RB16.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Wow. That's fair. So, Coach Tyler, I did not have Will Shipley in my top 10. So tell us why he should be in the top 10 in your eyes.
I had him in the back end of my top 10, honestly. Okay. So still top 10. But Shipley's just a guy that I really liked watching going through college. It was just kind of, he could beat you in a lot of different areas. And, playing in the ACC, he's playing against some good defenses. He's not playing against, like SEC level talent every game, but he is a good running back. He's just one of those guys that's an athlete. We see pass catching work the last 2 years, 38 receptions and 31 receptions, which, we don't see that out of especially a lot of backs in this class. So we see the pass catching work. We've got decent size, 5'11", 206, a little bit on the slimmer side compared to some of the guys that we've talked about. But that's just kind of how he plays his game, right? He's a dual threat. He can beat you on the ground. He can beat you in the air. There is a little bit left to be desired in terms of how he runs the ball. He's a lot more of a change of pace guy to me than he is a, RB1, but also that change of pace with the ability to be a receiving threat really, I don't want to say excites me, but really solidifies the fact that he would be in my top 10, especially with, depending on your scoring. If you're playing in a standard league, he's probably not overly attractive to you. But in a class that lacks a lot of pass catchers that can also be solid running backs, at least in terms of most people's top 10s, I think Shipley is the best pass catcher out of, I would say, at least the guys we're talking about today, if not one of the best. And he does it in a way that he's able to also be a true running back and actually take care of the ball.
That's fair. I mean, he definitely has some excitingness to his game overall. Obviously, the receiving skill set, over 30 receptions the last 2 seasons here. I think he can be kind of used as a weapon all over the field to some extent. You can put him out. You can put him out in the slot. He obviously plays out of the backfield. Vision's very good. Definitely very explosive in open space. If you saw his pro day, he ran an obviously unofficial 3.39. So he did get bumped up a little bit for me in my rankings. I still don't have him in my top 10. Some of my concerns with him, I just feel like, to me, the biggest thing I feel like is durability. Looking this past season, watching him play compared to the last season, I feel like he isn't going to be someone who could be a true 3-down back. Someone who he probably doesn't need all the carries, but I feel like he can't handle all the carries personally. Like, I feel like he is going to have issues being able to stay on the field if he's given too much work in the offense there. And something like that definitely concerns me. He isn't a guy who's going to, run over defenders. He isn't going to break a lot of tackles. His pass protection definitely could use some more work from what I've seen on the film. And just kind of very impatient, tries to run outside way too often for me and doesn't kind of stick to inside the tackles often. And again, I feel like he's just a guy. I mean, outside of him having the ability to catch the ball, which is great, and might be good for fantasy if he lands in the right situation. But I really do think he's more of a 1B option rather than being a potential 1A option in offense. So kind of how I feel about